Joining me in the studio today is Professor Ulrich Kubasch. He's a meteorologist and a climate researcher from Berlin. Now, are these city planners from Hamburg actually preparing for something which isn't really happening? Because as we've heard, the global temperatures have not been rising for the last 15 years.
Well, they are talking about sea level rise, and the sea level rise is continuing. It's so that the heat which comes by the greenhouse effect goes in the ocean and in the atmosphere. But currently it's more heat going into the ocean, and it's not warming up so much, so the total air temperature isn't rising so much either, but still the sea level is still rising.
And do you know why actually all the sun's energy now is ending up in the oceans and not in the atmosphere?
We don't really know yet. It's we say it's a long periodic oscillation, so it's going up and down. And in the years before, we had a lot of El Niño, so it was very warm. Currently, we had sort of anti-El Niño, La Niña, we call it. So it's rather cool.
So we can't really hope for another plateau of the temperature. So we'd have stable temperatures on Earth for another 15 or 20 years?
Well, we don't know how long it will last, but we expect it to bounce back, and then it might rise even higher.
Yeah. Now, in the past, we've always heard about greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and now you're always talking about the role of the oceans. Did you actually look for the wrong factors in the past?
Not really. It's so that the ocean was really a white spot in our science. And only the last 30 years, the ocean was equipped with a lot of technical equipment to measure it. It was really a white spot, and currently we get a lot of data which are now evaluated.
It sounds as if there were quite a few surprises coming up in climate research. Is it possible that one day you'll find out that humankind is not to blame for global warming?
I don't expect it. I mean, there's the physical laws in the background, and things are following the physical laws. But we had a lot of unknowns, and we are following up what are the unknowns and to make them known, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you're one of the lead authors of the IPCC report about climate change. Are there any surprises we have to expect?
Well, currently, I don't see that there are sort of big surprises. And everything is sort of continuing, but we have more data. So it's probably stronger statements which we can make.
It's already leaked through that obviously the sea level rise is increasing. What about those data?
Well, the sea level rise has been underestimated, particularly in the previous report, because they didn't consider that Greenland is not just melting from the top, but also in the bottom layers where it sort of sits on the rock. And so this effect certainly increases the sea level rise.
So does that mean we have to invest more into adaptation instead of mitigation of greenhouse gases?
Well, I mean, we certainly have to invest in adaptation, but the sort of figures we have, and you could see it in Hamburg as well, are still in the ballpark, which have been predicted in the previous years.
Thanks a lot for the talk, Ulrich Kubasch.